Today we're going to finish our lesson SOL 6.3 with absolute value. The definition of absolute value is the distance of a number from 0 on the number line. Note, distance or absolute value is always positive. Because there is no such thing as a negative distance, when asked what is the absolute value of any negative number, the answer is positive. Let's see it in action. Question 1. What is the absolute value, or how many units is negative 3 from 0? We can answer this question by plotting the points on a number line, focusing on the negative 3 and the 0. We also are going to look at the spaces in between, and that will tell us exactly how many units away negative 3 is from 0. We start at negative 3 and work towards the 0. 1, 2, 3. Negative 3 is positive 3 units away from 0, or the absolute value of negative 3 is equal to positive 3. Here's another example, question 2. What is the absolute value, or how many units is 5 away from 0? The same procedure, we're going to plot the points on a number line, focusing on the 5 and the 0, and looking at the spaces in between. We're going to start at the 0 and work to the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is exactly 5 units away from 0, or the absolute value of 5 is still equal to positive 5. Here's another representation. These two bars right here represent absolute value, and the statement altogether says the absolute value of negative 4. The answer is going to be 4, and we can prove that by using a number line. Focusing on the 0 and the negative 4 and the spaces in between, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The absolute value of negative 4 is equal to 4. These two bars you will often see as times to represent absolute value. Note, whenever there is a number on the inside of those bars, it always has a positive answer. Here are some special cases. If there is a negative sign outside of those bars, that negative goes with the final answer only. Here's an example. This is the absolute value of negative 3, but because there's a negative sign on this outside, the answer is going to be positive 3, but including that negative right here to make this a total of negative 3. If there is an operator, plus, minus, multiplication, or division, between two sets of bars, solve each set as you normally would, and then perform the operation. Here's another example. We have the absolute value of 5 plus the absolute value of negative 2. Well, we know that the absolute value of 5 is going to be 5, and the absolute value of negative 2 is going to be 2. The plus sign we will bring down and just add 5 plus 2 to give us 7. Now I want you to try these on your own. I want you to use a number line to help you answer these questions. What is the absolute value of negative 8? How many units is 4 away from 0? How many units is negative 7 away from 0? What is the absolute value of negative 10? What is the absolute value of 9? How many units is 12 away from 0? Also, I want you to evaluate these absolute value problems. The absolute value of negative 2, the absolute value of 6, the absolute value of negative 3 minus the absolute value of negative 1, absolute value of 5 plus the absolute value of negative 7, the absolute value of negative 11 plus the absolute value of 3, the absolute value of 9, divided by the absolute value of negative 9. Please have all of these notes completed and you try these sections for tomorrow's homework.